You have more authority than you realize. You can have influence over a situation. You have authority over it. I want to talk tonight about authority, the kingdom key of authority. I want to equip you. I want to empower you. I want to release you. And I want to see you walking and growing in the authority that God has given you. The limit of your authority is service. And what I mean by that is your authority grows only related to the ability to serve. Your serving will expand your authority. So use authority to serve. Authority can only grow as far as service will carry it. When I think of authority, I think of the thought that people listen with their eyes as much as their ears. Or people feel and sense more than they hear and see. They will sense the authority. They will feel it. In a team setting, the power and the joy of authority is found in shared values. In a personal setting, the power and joy of authority is found in mastering or controlling your environment instead of your environment controlling you. Walking in the awareness of your authority is a huge factor in living in the kingdom. Authority and control are not the same. Authority has an inherent power, an internal power. It's an ability and an influence, almost without external effort. You could look at it as delegated authority. The authority that you and I walk in is given to us from God. It's delegated to us. Sometimes we confuse authority with control, and we try to maintain things by control. Authority has God's fingerprints all over it. Control has my fingerprints all over it. So what are some of the characteristics or ingredients of authority? I've got a number of them. The first one is surrender. A yielded vessel is the most dangerous vessel. Are you prepared to surrender to someone much bigger than you? Surrender doesn't mean you're a zombie or a robot. Surrender means you move and function from a power source that is greater than you. The inner power of the Holy Spirit. He will direct, He will lead, and He will guide you. Surrender doesn't mean that you park your brain at the door. Surrender means that God maximizes Him in you and He maximizes you in you. He uses your gifts, your talents, your ability that He gave you for His intents and His purposes. You have relinquished to God the things that He has given to you. Strength is found in surrender. Another ingredient to authority is submission. What does submission mean? It means deference, to defer to someone else. It's closely connected, but not quite the same as surrender. It involves obedience and giving in, not in a defeated way, but in a way that recognizes there is protocol and there is order. Know the order, read the room, understand the chain of command. To walk in authority, we must be under authority. I'll say it in a different way. You cannot be over something until you're under something. This is huge and it bears repeating. You cannot be over something until you're under something. Another ingredient is confidence. Confidence because we know the ultimate authority. It's not me, it's God. It's not what I did, it's what He did. I have confidence, not in me, but in Him. He's called me to it, so I know I'll get through it. In Philippians 1 verse 6, Paul says, being confident of this, that He who begun a good work in you will carry it through. So what God starts, He finishes. Have this confidence. Have this confidence that as you walk with Him, He will lead and direct you. He will position you and He will equip you, and you will see miraculous things happen because of Him and the authority that you have in Him and the authority that He's given to you. Walk with confidence. The enemy is more scared of you than you are even aware of you. The last ingredient is humility. Walk in humility, walk in authority. Walk in the awareness that you cannot do this, therefore it must be God. And keeping that thought in front of my eyes keeps me fully aware that I cannot arrange this, I cannot even manipulate it, I can't plan it. It has to be God. When we walk in the authority of God that he's delegated to us, we walk in humility. And humility does not ignore our mind and our ability to think and our cognitive abilities, but humility recognizes our mind and our abilities and our limits, and it places them below God so that we can be used by God. Are you prepared to lay aside everything you've known, everything you've learned, everything you've studied, all so that you could be used by God? Paul said that he considered all those things that he had, he considered them loss so that he would gain Christ. Walking in authority is not walking with arrogance or heavy-handedness. Rather, it's walking with confidence, strength, humility, and awareness. Confidence because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Strength because he's defeated the enemy. 1 John 3, it says that Jesus came to destroy the works of the devil. The enemy is defeated. He's under my feet. I have strength because of what Jesus did, disarming the powers of darkness. My strength lies not in my abilities, but rather in my availabilities. When I make myself available, he makes me able. Humility, because true authority is not highlighted, but it's recognized. It's not something I've earned, it's given. Jesus says in Matthew 28, talking to the disciples, he says, all authority has been given to me in heaven and in earth. Go, therefore. I learn it and I grow in it. I don't earn it. I do not earn my authority. I learn my authority. Jesus gave us all authority, but we must learn the authority. The moment we make it earned, we become the purveyors of its validity. And then we have awareness of authority because it's not in me, but Christ. Oftentimes the temptation arises to show off and display my authority or our authority. And that's not kingdom authority, that's abuse of authority. Authority is not how loud we speak and raise our voice, but rather it's how quietly we listen. It's not what others can make happen for you, but it's what you can make happen for others. Some practical ways that you can grow in authority, and here's some thoughts for you to think about. This is not meant to be a power trip or manipulative actions. This is meant for you to grow in the authority that you have. If you're not the boss, it's not about usurping the boss. It's about being the best employee that you can be. And if you are the boss, it's not to manipulate, but rather it's to instill confidence and authority into your team and your employees. You can eliminate so much uncertainty and confusion by behaving in an authoritative manner. Remember, this is not to be abused, but it's to assist and to help. So here we grow. Change your presence, your body language. Don't fidget. Establish eye contact. Matthew 6 says that the eye is the lamp of the body. If you want to see how someone's doing, look at them in the eye. Dress the part. Speak with clarity. Try not using the words and I think. Learn how to be concise. Learn how to speak with conviction. Do not speak argumentatively. Be careful when you use the word you, because that's a sure way to start a fire. Learn how to communicate. Be respectful. Encourage others. Have confidence in you and your abilities. God's placed you there. He placed you there more than you did. But say, I can do this. You are right where God can use you. And instead of looking for a way out, look for a way through. You'll never know what you can do until you push yourself beyond what you thought you could do. And learn how to solve problems. Be a problem solver, not a problem maker. Learn to listen. Don't become defensive. People are more interested in what you can hear than what you can say. Learn to listen to those above you and those below you. Serve. Learn how to serve one another. Learn how to serve in another man's field. Because when you serve in another man's field, you will get your own. And as I'm sharing this, I can't separate serving from authority. I cannot escape the thought and the principle of serving and how closely connected to authority it is. Serving's a huge key to authority. It's probably the biggest single key in growing in your authority. And that's naturally and spiritually. Watch what happens when you serve.